Hey guys, welcome back for more E3 goodness. This time we're looking at the recent Halo 5 campaign footage that was released this morning. We open with the Chief on an unknown world, strangely alone. We know that in Halo 5, players will always be accompanied by 3 other Spartans. So what's going on here? I'm thinking this is part of the second level called Blue Team, where the Chief was separated from his team, and the supposed ghost of Cortana warns him that the domain is open, Meridian is next, you have 3 days. You can see here the distinct profile of Cortana.
0631 this morning. Master Chief was declared absent without leave.
The narration here is clearly from Thomas Lasky. Though we never see him talking, it sure as hell sounds like him.
I'm a Spartan now, sir.
I know who you are. Yet now you hunt another Spartan, the greatest of your clan.
Now, the Arbiter's tone here is kind of interesting. He's very intense and kind of dismissive of Locke's mission. Very different from how he was in Halo 2 Anniversary.
Every other Spartan, every soldier, when they hear about this, they're gonna hate us. You know that, right?
I love how Buck points out that what they're doing isn't exactly going to be well received by anyone.
You're not the only one here because of him.
Here we get our first look at Thel's forces. While they are using the 343 era armor sets and elite models, they do have this distinct red and white color scheme, which according to Halo Hunters in the Dark is meant to represent loyalty to the Arbiter. I have to wonder if we might fight directly alongside them at some point. Finally, we start getting some up-close looks at Sunayon, which according to the Arbiter is the last stronghold of the Covenant rebels, which I assume to mean Jules' forces, and where the Chief was headed looking for a Guardian. Locke's team drops to the surface and we enter the campaign proper.
Let's move. Vale, keep an ear on comms.
Affirmative.
Buck, Tanaka, defensive positions.
Right off the bat, we're introduced to the Spartan banter, and we hear this final line of defiance from a downed elite before Locke ends him. Nice. Now, right here on the side, we see this hologram, and it really caught my attention. It looks very slender, far more than the average elite. I can't help but wonder if this might be the first in-game appearance of a female Sangheili.
Locke, we sure the Chief came this way?
Let's see.
Here we get our first look at the Artemis tracking system, a piece of tech unique to Locke's team, kind of reminiscent of ODST's visor. The group finds the Chief's AR, confirming his presence, which I find kind of weird that he has a distinct AR, but whatever. The team moves out, and I'll take a moment to say I am loving the Spartan voices so far.
No ammo. Then the Master Chief's been through here.
Which means he has a head start on the Guardian. Let's get moving.
I regret everything!
Gotta love the grunt humor.
Looks like Arbiter's running the Covenant out of town.
He's been fighting for this moment a long time, Vale. The Covenant's finally breaking.
We get this mention that the Arbiter's running the Covenant out of town. It seems we're seeing the final days of the Sangheili Civil War that started back in 2553. It's still kind of annoying that they always refer to these splinter groups as the Covenant. I know why they do it, but from a lore perspective, I wish they had code names for these different splinter groups. On a side note, I have to wonder if we might see Thel and Jewel face off. Thel would win, of course, but I'm just saying it would be kind of cool. The team finally runs into the Guardian, and it is glorious to see. This thing is massive. Interestingly, Buck asks,
You think the Chief's already on board?
as if to imply that the Guardians are vehicles or ships of some kind. How cool would that be, especially if we got to drive them at some point?
Keep your head down and run!
Now, it's kind of sad to see this scripted bit here, but it seems more like a minor thing, not something we're going to see a whole lot of.
Made it.
Yeah, safe and sound, inside a crumbling building.
Better than the bottom.
More banter, and I just love Buck's line. Nathan Fillion is wonderful. Interestingly, this area was referred to as a museum in one of the screenshots 343 released earlier today. A museum for what, I wonder? Might there be some Easter eggs strewn about? And we get our first look at the Prometheans in Halo 5. I find it interesting that we see them teleporting by themselves without the Watcher summoning them. Could make for some interesting encounters. Here we see this Promethean ship. I couldn't really make out what Vale called it in the trailer, sadly. They're apparently pretty fragile, seeing how easily Buck took it out. Of course, we don't really know what he was using. And then we get to see the revive system in action. It's pretty basic, but I love this in concept. If you notice, there's a limited amount of time for the player to be revived, after which they would respawn like in classic Halo. Here we see our first look at the Promethean soldier in action. I can't say I'm all that impressed yet. I'm hoping some future footage might change my mind.
Weapon cache up there. Vale, Tanaka, flank left. Buck, head up with me. Plasma caster.
Here we're introduced to the Plasma Caster, a new weapon reminiscent of the plasma launcher in Halo Reach. Good to see some newish weapons. This is likely a counter to the human Hydra, which functions in, well, a pretty much identical manner.
Soldier! Human Sergeant! You will something!
Now, I don't know about you, but that line from the soldier left me laughing after I heard it the second time.
Soldier captain's on deck.
Take him down.
It's good to hear that we'll have different classes of Promethean soldiers, but I remain unimpressed at this moment. They're kind of like skirmishers from Halo Reach, but not as interesting as of yet.
I am the Warden Eternal, keeper of the domain and her secrets.
Take him out!
Now this is probably the coolest part of the trailer, the Warden Eternal, keeper of the domain and her secrets. Looking at this Warden, it seems to be the being that we saw in that scale image, not the Didact as I had assumed. It's also likely this is what's being depicted in that concept poster. Anyway, looking at this guy, we have to ask, what is he? My first thoughts were to Haruspis, a collective of Forerunners that did guard the domain and help other Forerunners, notably the Juridicals, access information. The main problem with that though is this Warden looks like he's another Promethean variant. That's usually what the orange glow means.
The Master Chief is called, but your passage is denied.
So what could this mean? Could the Didact have, as a digital essence, found a way into the domain, infected the Wardens, and laid a trap for the Chief? These closing scenes are just awesome. Spartans being badass, some footage of the second level, Blue Team. The Hunter assembling itself, what looks like a new variant of the Spirit dropship. And then this. What the hell is this? Now the scenery here looks a lot like the concept piece Meridian Delve, which makes me think this is indeed set on Meridian. It seems pretty clear that the Chief heads here before Sunghelios, and on Sunghelios, the Chief is actively seeking out a Guardian. So what happened to this one, I wonder? Moving back to that walker, I love that we're going to be taking it on with these Promethean ships. I hope we get a few moments like this, kind of like some Scarab moments in Halo 3. So, an awesome fucking trailer, am I right? Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you next time for more Halo at E3. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. It means more than I can express in a few minutes of audio. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around on whatever social media you see fit, and all that jazz. Thank you so much. Your support is everything. I would not be where I am without you. Thanks.